Hello and welcome back once again to the latest edition of the Northern Ireland Women's Football Show with me, Jana McCabe.
And me, Rachel Magill.
Later on in today's show, we'll be hearing from the Belfast Met Football Academy and one of the players will join us in the studio. We will also have a behind the scenes look at Ballyclare Comrades ladies who'll be part of the NIWFA Championship in 2023.
Before that, however, it's time to welcome our first guest, Siobhan Higgins. She's originally from Scotland but moved to Texas, USA at an early age. Siobhan has signed this season for Premiership side Sion and indeed became the first female player to sign a professional contract in Northern Ireland earlier this year. Siobhan has previously played in Scotland for both Hearts and Hibs, as well as having spent time playing in Hungary and Portugal. She joins us now. Siobhan, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, I'm happy to be here.
So let's take it back to the beginning. How did you first get involved in football?
Started when I was actually I would say like an older age. I was 12 years old when I first started playing soccer. And it's really just because I was in every other sport and then the seasons change, so when one ends, another one starts, and I just got asked to play and then my competitive nature took over and the rest is history.
We were talking off camera a little bit about you played multiple sports. Was it easy to choose football or just for you, soccer as your main one?
So actually, the older you get, the more competitive it becomes. So it's a bit expensive to be in like club sports and playing in school. So I was actually, choosing between basketball and soccer. And it was funny because my dad's like, no, you want to play soccer. And my mom's like, no, you want to play basketball. And I love both of them, but I think I just enjoyed myself more in soccer and had more friends on the team. So that's how I decided that path.
And then did you go on to play football in college?
Yes, I did. I played 4 years in my hometown, which is in Houston, and so I played for University of St. Thomas there.
And what was that experience like? Was that amazing?
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, I was actually part of inaugural team, so I joined the second year because they didn't have a women's program when I first came. And so it was kind of cool because we were able to win like the first conference championship, be like the first team to do certain things. So it was really cool to be a part of that.
You said there the first year they didn't have a women's team. Did you find you had to play with boys? Because over here we've had many guests that have said, and I think for the two of us, we couldn't find women's teams when we were growing up, so we kind of did have to play with the boys. Did you?
Yeah, so I actually transferred schools. I didn't mention that, but my first year I played in a school called Morehead State University, which is in a different state in Kentucky. So I played there for the women's team, and then when I transferred, it was a brand new squad. So they started the same year that I was in a different school, but I joined in, so I wasn't like the first group, like the first people that graduated I wasn't a part of because I came just a year later. But we were the first ones to kind of compete and just earn titles.
And how did you make that transition from playing in America to then coming to Scotland to play for Hibs and Hearts?
So after I graduated from university, I played for a semi-professional team in Houston, and it's like you didn't get paid or anything, but it's just a competitive league where girls who are in college come back home and they want to compete, so people who want to play at another level. So I joined a team in Houston, and then they had some good connections with people abroad, and so I was in touch with somebody in Scotland, and since I have dual citizenship being from Scotland, it was a bit easier for me to hop across the pond, so my first team I played for was Hibs.
Was it an easy move to come over to Scotland? Obviously you mentioned you were born there, but you'd spent all your life basically in the USA.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it was easy, honestly. I moved over not really knowing anyone. I actually stayed with some family friends, but I moved to America when I was 4, so when I did get there, it's like people knew who I was as a kid, but I had no recollection, so it was kind of funny because one, there's not necessarily a language barrier, but it's like a dialect barrier. I had no idea what people were saying. So the first month, I was just so quiet, just listening and observing and learning the new language, so that was probably the toughest part for me.
And was the culture of playing in America, playing in college, different to coming and playing in the leagues in Scotland?
Yeah, I would say so. I think at the beginning I did expect a little bit more of professionalism, but I think that's just because I'm used to like really organized and strict college soccer. So for example, like tough punishments, kind of like being there on time, and just I think that in Scotland it was just beginning and developing, so it was a little bit more relaxed than I anticipated, but I think that they've caught up now, and so it's very professional everywhere.
Is there any of the tough kind of punishments, as you said, that you would like to see brought in football over here that maybe isn't?
I think just because I don't really know if I agree with it, like conditioning or, you know, whenever you're late having to run. So, for example, we were doing a game last night at training, and the losers had to run like a full field sprint, and some of the girls were like, oh, we never have to do that. And I thought, well, if I was late to training by 2 minutes in America, we'd be doing 10 of those before the practice started. So just something like that, just making sure you're on time, just being disciplined so you can enforce that.
Do you think that disciplined environment has helped you as a player?
Yeah, definitely. I think that without it, people slack off and then become complacent. So I think it's definitely important.
A big moment in your career so far was whenever you played for Hibs, you played in the Champions League. Can you sum up what that experience was like?
Honestly, it was really cool. I mean, I'd never thought that I was going to be playing in Champions League, and I kind of joined the squad. Like, you know, I feel like I didn't really earn that place because they had already won and kind of earned their spot. So I was happy to join in and help out. But it was really cool getting to travel to different countries, learn different cultures, and just kind of see what other countries do with their football. And just like, it was the best moment was probably walking on the field and the Champions League song is playing. And I'm like, this is what I'd be watching on the television, but now I'm walking onto the field and it's me.
And you got to play in different parts of Europe, like Hungary and Portugal. What was that like?
So Hungary was a completely different experience. I wouldn't say it was my favorite, but I did learn the most from it and grow a lot from it. So had a great time there with my American teammates. We had a lot of internationals, so that was really cool to see and be a part of. And then in Portugal, it was a beautiful country. And so I was only there for a short period of time. I wish I would have been there longer, but everything happens for a reason, and now I'm here.
You obviously have travelled a fair bit, but now you're in beautiful Northern Ireland, sunny, obviously, Northern Ireland. How have you been enjoying it so far?
I've been loving it, and it's so funny because the first question asked is, how do you like the weather? And I don't mind it because back home it's so hot that you're just constantly sweating. Like, I'm pretty sure it's 30 degrees back home, and it gets even hotter. And so I like the coolness, and I don't mind the rain because, you know, it's better for my hair. It's not so frizzy and humid like it would be in Houston.
It's just frozen over here, you know, it's not even,
yeah.
It's not even frizzy. Can't be frizzy.
No, I mean, like the first couple nights at training, I couldn't feel my toes because it was so cold. And everyone's like, how you liking it? Getting used to it. And I'm like, please tell me it's not like this all the time. But it has gotten better.
And speaking on that, how have you transitioned into training, like with moving to Sion and stuff?
Honestly, it's been a really seamless process. The girls have been so welcoming, and just everyone in the town is so warm, and they're the nicest people I've ever met. I'm so surprised. Like, everyone in Ireland is so kind and just informative, and I feel like welcomed with open arms. So, pretty well.
Before you moved here, did you know much about the Northern Ireland football community?
I can't say that I did. No. So everything's new to me.
Have you been pleasantly surprised by it?
I have been. Yeah, I have.
Are you excited going into playing the first season with Sion in the league this year?
I'm really excited, yeah. I've been super impressed with the quality and the girls and the standards, so I'm really thankful to be a part of this.
And what would your aims be for the season ahead?
Win the league.
Confident you could do that? Have you seen a lot of your competition?
I've heard about them and I've done my fair share of research, but I guess I'll have to see as the season goes on. But I'm confident that we have a strong squad, especially with the experience that I've had. I'm confident this is one of the best teams that I've been on.
And you're moving over here to Northern Ireland. What has been, you know, the main influence for that, or what are you striving to do in your career?
It's a great question. I'm still trying to figure it out. I wouldn't say that I have a complete end goal. I just want to play until I feel fulfilled. You know, I'm 27, so I've got a few more years on me. I do want to start a family at some point, but I love the game and I've been blessed with the ability to play, and so just kind of want to play it out until I get the most that I can out of it.
Finally, as we wrap up, I think it was only fair, we were talking off camera about kind of our lingo being a bit more different and difficult. Would you say that you've got used to it, and can you tell me any Belfast phrases or Northern Ireland phrases that you've picked up that you didn't know before? I can't say that I'm fully used to it, but like, I just don't see myself using the phrase like, what's the crack? Like the first week. It's such you have to use it. It's like, I'm like, at first I was like, is it a noun, a verb, an adjective? Like, I can't tell because it's everything. And so that's probably the first one that I've actually learned, but no, someone went over some phrases the other day and I'm just so lost. Like, it's, I guess, a little bit similar to when I was in Scotland learning some new words, but I'm not used to it yet. I think it's going to take some time. I think on the football field, if you're called like a melter or something, you just nod your head and just keep going, keep running. I think something similar happened to me in Scotland. We were playing a team from England. I think a girl called me something not so nice, and I just laughed. I go, I don't even know what that is, so I can't remember what it is. Let's just pause there for a moment. As you may know, we're making this programme at Belfast Met Television Studios along with the students here. One of the course areas that the Met offers is sport, including sports academies. We've been to the Women's Football Academy to see what a typical day entails.
This may not look like traditional learning, but this is just another day in the college for the students on Belfast Met's Football Academy.
A typical day for Belfast Met Football Academy is that they train in the mornings. They do their physical, technical, tactical aspects, and 45 minutes in the morning could be a physical aspect in the gym with Andy or on the pitch with Stephen themselves. In the afternoons they do their classwork, but it's also project-based sort of learning where they incorporate different units and they work with schools. On a Wednesday, the IFA come in for their coach education, and it's about £1,500 worth of free qualifications that they get, the likes of futsal, refereeing, sports event organisation and disability sort of awards, which is they're able to put into practice when they leave or during their course of establishing themselves in Easter camps and summer camps and stuff for paid work.
In its 11-year history, the Football Academy has seen several professional players achieve their goals, including NI's Gavin White and Sean Moore, who has just been signed by the Republic of Ireland. The rise of the women's game is reflected in the numbers of females now applying for a place on the Academy.
So last year our first two came through the Academy, and now as you can see we have more that have been established in it. Coming up in the trials this year, we've had a lot more females also, so we're hoping to establish a female academy on its own.
Katie Porter captains her team and was one of the first females to sign up on the Football Academy.
The last 2 years, it's made me better confident-wise, especially football and in myself, mentally and physically. It is hard the first couple of weeks because it was only me and Leah, and all the boys were older than us and stronger, but with the S&C with Andy working hard and Smalley down tactical, it's been good playing against girls. You can tell I've got better, and mentally I did go through an injury, so watching everyone train every day was hard, but it made me want to work harder, and I think I've improved a lot.
Leah Waugis plays for the Larne ladies, and she's represented NI at under 17 level.
I believe that training here every day has helped me to gain a better understanding of football in general and to help my ability to play against hard players. I would definitely recommend it to other people coming here. I believe that this is a great platform to be able to build on your ability academically and performance, as it helps you to further your education to go on to the next university and stuff, but also helps you to perform better for your club at your level.
It's been able to help me move teams, and playing with the boys helps speed up your play. So far I've been able to make my senior debut in the championship for my previous club, Canberra Ladies. I wasn't really a school type person and wasn't very good at the academic side of things. I'm more practical, so I thought this was a good opportunity to go to. I hope I get the qualifications needed to go into uni and go into the sports industry.
The Irish Football Association has recognised the growth of the women's game and has pledged to continue to develop and support young players.
The women's game has definitely grown, but I think it can progress more, especially with these academies, especially Belfast Met Academy. Natalie does help a lot with the Girls Academy, and training here with Smalley. Smalley is a good coach. He looks out for the girls, he has passion for girls football, so he does put us first. I think training here every day will make the league more competitive. It'll be a bit more physical. There's not a lot of physical in the game nowadays. But with Andy as well in the S&C, he does make us stronger as well, fitter. So the game will get faster if more girls do come here. It'll be a harder league, but it's going for the better.
The Women's Academy may be only 2 years old, but it's producing great talent, and we look forward to see the future of the women's football. Eli Mihailova, Belfast Met Football Academy.
Thank you very much to Belfast Met Football Academy. We're delighted to say one of the students at the Football Academy, Morgan Hanna, is with us now. Morgan plays for recently promoted Larne Women and has just returned from Turkey, where she was part of the Northern Ireland Women's Under-17 squad. Welcome, Morgan.
Thank you for having me.
So, What does a typical day look like for you in the Belfast Met Academy?
So from like Monday to Thursday, we have like training in the morning and then class in the afternoon, and then on a Wednesday the IFA will come in and they do like stuff with us to get our like coaching badges, and on Friday it's just like a day like where you can catch up on your work too, but it's good.
Have you been enjoying it so far?
Yeah, no, it's great, and I found it's like really helped with my like fitness within like football and stuff, so it's great.
And what an experience for the IFA to come in and be doing coaching badges with you. Would you think that's something you want to go into in the future?
Yeah, no, it's actually really good because it's like helping with like jobs and stuff, and you do like voluntary work and stuff, so it like helps us with stuff with that, and then that can go in your like CV.
Where have you done your voluntary work so far?
So in like the Belfast Met bit, I've actually done like volunteering with like disability NI, so like it's like helping people with disabilities, and I done that for 4 weeks, and then there's coaching and stuff with like the IFA, so you can get into that, but I haven't done that yet, but I'm looking to do that soon.
And what have you been studying alongside playing and the coaching badges at Belfast Met?
So I've been studying doing like my anatomy and physiology course. I'm like working with like strength and conditioning like in the gym and doing like all sorts of things, but it's I find it like really helped me. It's very good.
Since we've been in the Met, I think Rich and I have experienced just how great the facilities are. Obviously we've seen there in the VT, the facilities in the football academy is great as well. Just how much has that helped you build your career?
Actually a lot. It's helped a lot. Like the facilities we're allowed to use is great, and especially for like the women as well, because like we wouldn't have had that before, and so to have that, it's great.
And I say, like, you wouldn't have had that before. How has women's football grown, and with Belfast Met taking on the academy?
Within Belfast Met, so last year actually there was only 2 girls in the course, so like each year it's getting bigger. This year there was I think 7 on the course, and then there's been 12 I think for trials this year, so it's growing and growing even more like each year, so it's actually helping a lot. So hopefully like this interview like it'll bring more people in.
What would be your advice for anybody that's out there that's maybe thinking of getting involved in the academy?
Like if they're into football and stuff, or looking to get like a job in like sports, like just do it, because like there's teachers there that are there to like support you and like help you get like jobs, and then like they help you like interviews and stuff. If you're looking to go like across the water, they can get into contact with people, so they're very helpful.
And has the academy helped with you playing for Larne as well?
Yes, actually, yeah, a lot. A lot of like my coaches would know people from like the Met as well, so I think it sort of just keeps me like motivated, and builds my fitness up. So whenever I'll have Belfast Met training in the morning and then Larne training like later on, so I always find that like my fitness is a lot better this year as well, so hopefully that's good for like the Premiership.
Larne have obviously recently just been promoted and the season's nearly starting now. Yeah. How are you feeling going ahead into this one?
I'm feeling good though. It'll be a challenge definitely, but I think we're definitely up for it. I think this is actually the 4th year in a row we've been promoted, so it just shows that like all the hard work like the team's put in over the few years, so it's going to be a challenge, but I think we're all up for it.
And as a young player coming into that league, are you really pushing to play on and maybe get the moves to likes of the big clubs or go across the water to England?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I would move club like here in Northern Ireland, but definitely if there was like an opportunity across the water, then maybe, yeah. But not looking at that yet.
Obviously our other guest, she's done a fair bit of travelling, so you said there that there was a move that came across the water, you'd go for it.
Yeah.
Is there any player that plays maybe for Northern Ireland at the minute that you would like to copy them, basically, take their job?
Well, like the likes of like Simone Magill or
good choice, because she's a Villa player and I'm a Villa fan, so I'll take that.
Or Rachel Furness, like obviously they've went across the water, they've been like playing for NI and stuff, so like looking up at them, like they're very like inspiring people. So yeah, it'd be great to do what they do.
You're making your own appearances for Northern Ireland, playing at the under-17 level. What was that experience going out? You're recently in Turkey.
Yeah, no, that was a great experience. It was great to have. Unfortunately, we only had one match to play in Turkey though. We were meant to have 2, but it's still the experience was great, and I hope like there's more trips like that, because like you find like playing like different countries and stuff, like they're quick as well, so like just playing as a team as well, so it's great. Yeah, good experience.
And then Siobhan, obviously we talk about the international career. Would that be something that you would go for? Obviously you've got dual citizenship, so you could play for Scotland.
Scotland would probably be my closest opportunity. That's the one within reach, because America is just so competitive. There's so many people, and they're bringing in really young girls right now. So it was a dream of mine at one point. I don't think it's out of reach, but yeah, I'd really love for that to be a chance.
And what about that USA squad at the minute? They seem unstoppable.
They are. Well, not completely unstoppable. I mean, someone stopped them a couple of months ago,
I wonder
but
who that was. Could you?
No comment.
We'll pause there to go across to Ballyclare Comrades ladies, who last season gained promotion to the NIWFA Championship.
How did you get involved with Ballyclare Comrades?
I started from Whitehead Eagles when I was young, just out of primary school. I was influenced by a couple of friends, so we moved to Whitehead Eagles, and then I got put up here at Carmoney.
I started from the age of 8. Both my sisters were playing at the club, and I was doing keep-ups on the sideline of the pitch, and the coach came over to me and asked if I wanted to play, and I've always been playing with the boys in the street, so it was good enough to get into the girls' team.
When I was like 6 years old, I heard about Carmoney ladies, and I just wanted to play football.
When I was 8 years old, and I played for Soccer Shed, and they told me to come along, so I came along and loved it.
How did you get involved with Ballyclare in the first time?
A lot of persistence by Stevie Laurie, the club chairman. When there were Carmoney ladies, he'd tried to get me in for quite a number of years, but I was involved with other clubs at the time, and eventually when I sort of became available, he was at me straight away. So I've been here probably 5-6 years now, and I genuinely loved every minute of it.
What's your hopes and ambitions for the club this season?
This season we aim to get promoted to the Premier League. That's the goal. When I came in 5 years ago, I'd said that we took a drop. Basically, we were Division 3 at the time, and we'd said that the sort of aim was to get to the Premier League within 5 years. This will be our 4th year, in the first team. So if we get there this year, it'll be a year ahead of schedule. So that's the aim.
What would it mean to this club if it was to get promoted to the Premiership?
It would mean everything. We've never been there before. Obviously in our Carmoney days, the highest we got was Championship. I think it's second or third place in the Championship. So to get into the Premier League is I think where we do deserve to be, where we want to be. We've got the talent in the squad to compete. So yeah, it would mean everything.
We've never been up there. I think it's something we've always strived for, what we wanted with the club, but honestly it's just something that we're always going to aim for and we're going to push for, and hopefully we can battle it out this season.
We're looking for promotion by the end of it, so it would mean a lot. That's been our aim for the past couple of years.
It would mean a lot, so it would, because we've been playing against the bigger teams and developing as a team.
Thank you again to Ballyclare for having us along to one of their training sessions. I think they've got a good setup going. I'd be confident for them. Obviously, Morgan, you've just been promoted. Teams like that are going to be looking to come up and join the Premiership. Is that a bit of pressure that you've got all those competitive teams in the Championship?
Yeah, I'd say that's a bit of pressure. Well, I think it just makes us work harder. Looking at the teams coming in, obviously Ballyclare's a strong team, so we'll have to work harder just.
Thank you both for joining us today. I personally had a blast. It's been a good laugh. Yeah. And that's all from the latest episode of the Northern Ireland Women's Football Show. Thanks to our guests, Siobhan Higgins and Morgan Hanna, and our featured clubs, Belfast Met Football Academy and Ballyclare Comrades. We wish them all every success in the season ahead.
And finally, thanks to you, the viewer, for taking the time to watch today's episode. Your support really is appreciated. Until next time, from me, Rachel Magill.
And me, Jana McCabe, it's bye for now. Goodbye.